Hey guys, Hugh Shang here. Welcome to another Hugh Shang tutorials video. In today's guide, we're going to be covering our response in ZVZ to a 12 pull. So here we have a replay between myself and a friend Blackwing. He's 5200 maybe to 5500 Zerg GM, so he's quite a strong player. And basically, you're going to open your game. If you haven't watched my beginner ZVZ guide, you should check out that one first. And that's going to show you, the general way you should progress. Oh my god. Look at these GMs flipping their screens. So you should follow that guide and see the general way I progress through ZVZ. And then I'm going to show you where you would deviate if your opponent's doing a 12 pull. So I mean, so far in your game or in this game, I don't know that my opponent is 12 pulling. And so I'm going to grab my hatch like normal on 16. I'm going to be rallying to gas, grabbing my pool, etc. Basically exactly what I did in the ZVZ guide. Now coming up in a second, we're going to be looking at these overlords. So while you're playing your ladder games, you're going to want to keep a general eye on the minimap so that if your opponent is doing a 12 pull or maybe some other sort of early cheese, you're going to see it. So we still don't know quite yet. 12 pulls usually hit at about 2 minutes. So you should see, a Zergling coming up soon. They could scout around your overlords for sure, or not scout around, but sneak around your overlords. But if they do something like this, then they're going to be quite a bit later anyways, so it's not like it makes the defense harder. It's just you won't know as early. So we did just see these Zerglings sneak by. I'll go back. It was pretty quick. We'll get a better view in a second. But here we're going to see the Zerglings. Right here we see our first two Zerglings. So this is fairly early in the game. So we know some sort of cheese is happening. If I go to the everyone cam, you can see that he also has 6 more Zerglings, a little faster. So at this point, I know he's cheesing. Now, I did just see the Zerglings. If you see the Zerglings earlier, you can cut this Overlord. So cutting this Overlord is going to give you a little more larva to get your Zerglings quicker. So that can be something you can skip until later. Of course, you're going to have to remember it later. But that's a different problem. So you can skip this Overlord, get a little more larva, and that should make the defense easier. But in this game, I didn't see that, so I already started the Overlord a little late, or a little early rather. So, but it's not a huge problem. We'll still be able to defend. Okay, so at this point, I know he's doing that a 12 pull. You're gonna have to spend a little time playing against the all-ins to get a feel for when the Zerglings should be crossing the map based on like different timings and different all-ins. But so here he's arrived at 2 minutes, so we know this is a 12 pull. And what we're going to do is, normally here we would get 2 queens, we would get a couple sets of Zerglings for scouting, maybe just 1 set even, and we would get our Zergling speed, and then we would progress up to our 3rd base, just like I showed in the ZVZ guide. However, this is quite a bit more aggressive, and so we don't necessarily need all of these things. So queens are going to be helpful for defending for sure. So let's make those. And obviously Zerglings are going to be helpful as well, but the speed isn't necessarily helpful here, right? Like maybe later in the game we want it, but it's not going to help us defend this exact push. So what we're going to do is just delay that. So you'll see me start up these queens. You'll see me start up 6 Zerglings. Again, this could be 8 Zerglings if we had delayed the 19 Overlord, which is something you would want to do. But we just didn't scout it in time, so we're going to go with 6 for now. And these will not be ready in time. So we're going to need to do something additional to be able to defend this. I see a lot of people, thinking, these are way too fast. There's no way I can defend this hatchery. I'm just going to get like a Roach Warren or Bane Nest or something. But this is not very good for you if this happens, at least in my opinion. I think you have some compensation, like you're going to have additional tech, but it's just, it's much better to save this hatchery. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to pull all of our drones. You could I suppose pull half, but it's much better to go with all of them and just shut it down really hard and then go back to mining as quickly as you can. So we'll wait as long as we can to mine resources for more Zerglings, but then we're going to pull everybody. I think I'm a touch late here. Like if I was going to make some slight adaptations to my defense, I would pull a little earlier so it's not so close to dying. Because I think he could have targeted the hatchery and killed it here. But you'll try and pull early enough that that doesn't happen. And then the goal is to buy as much time as possible and let as many Zerglings out as possible before we fight. So it's a little bit of a micro battle here, right? Like he's trying to kill our hatchery, we're trying not to lose drones. And so whoever can do this better is going to come out on top. If we can lose no drones, that would be super ideal. So right here, he pulled his Zerglings back. He's trying to stay on this side because that way I can't surround him as easy. Like if he comes over this side, he's trapped, right? My drones can lock him in. I'm going to get a lot of Zerglings and we can fight, and that's going to go really good for me. So he's trying to stay on this side, which is a good thing to do if you're the 12 pool player. Another thing is by staying over here, I can't mineral drill. So if you guys don't know what mineral drilling is, I'll go back. So mineral drilling is when you abuse you use the drone mechanic of being able to go through each other. Like if I go through to the enemy, you can see that these drones are going through each other, right, when they mine. So you can use this ability by clicking on the mineral patch across from the Zerglings. So if you see here, they're getting blocked. That's because I haven't mineral drilled yet. Right here, I'm starting the mineral drill. So I've clicked right here on this patch, and they're move commanding through the Zerglings. If he had kept them there, they would just go straight through them. They wouldn't get blocked at all. And then you could maybe attack move right now and surround the Zerglings. So, but he's a GM player, so he saw what I was doing. He moved the Zerglings out of the way. I'm going to use the trick again in a second, so you'll see that again, hopefully. Okay, here, my Zerglings are out. I want to start the fight. I don't want to let him hit this hatchery, so I'm move commanding over here. If I attack move, then I'm only going to have a couple Zerglings at the front hitting, so I'm trying to surround him and get more surface area. So you'll see some of these Zerglings are getting caught in the middle, and then once I have a nice area around them, I'm going to A-move. You can see my attack move right there. He kind of wiggles his way out, so it doesn't work perfect this time. But we did buy some time for his Zerglings, so now we can kind of maybe just use those. Or at least that was my plan. So I'm counting my Zerglings here in the game. I'm seeing like, okay, I have like 6 Zergling, probably 2 more over here. He's still got a little bit more than me, so I pull my drones again. So I pull back a little early, I guess. But now he's on the wrong side. So we have pretty good surface area here. And now his Zergling count is way below what I have, plus the queens. So I'm not really worried about the Zerglings anymore. I'm just gonna get back to mining and clean these guys up. And yeah, that was a pretty good defense. This can go a lot better against weaker players. Like I said, Blackwing is like mid GM, so I mean he's quite a strong player. He can execute the 12 pool fairly well. And so we're about even right now. But if you can get a nice surround with your drones and just get the Zerglings fighting at the same time, you could easily be like 5 drones ahead here and totally game-winning position. So you want to practice this defense if you're having trouble against 12 pool, especially the drone drills, which are maybe a little bit tricky, kind of getting the angle right, and trying to buy time for these Zerglings and these queens. And then once you get these up, you're in a fairly good position to get back on track. So at this point, you would try and get close to the ZVZ opening tutorial, right? So in that tutorial, we were getting speed, we were building up our drones here, getting a 3rd base, and then working our way up to an evolution chamber and a roach warren and a layer. So you would try and get back onto that path from here, whether you're ahead or behind. All right, cool. So that was a 12 pool tutorial for ZVZ, how to defend. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe. Got lots more content coming soon. And if you guys want to leave a comment as well about what videos you'd like to see next, that would be super helpful. Alright, thanks for watching guys. See you in the next one. Peace.